Hey, good evening, everybody. Hope you are all doing very well. Today's date is now July the 15th. It's a Monday evening here in Istanbul, Turkey, and it is my duty to give you an update to see how the market has been trending. So, Bitcoin has recovered in price, and because it has recovered in price, there's a lot of hope in the market right now. Many people are very optimistic in regards to perhaps getting back up to $72,000. So we're going to take a look at the market and see what we can deduce. The market will always oscillate up and down. There are going to be periods that are very bearish, very bullish, and the best decisions to make are when you get more data coming in and you react to the information that comes in rather than always try to make predictions. And also remember that just because you're bearish short term 1 week doesn't mean that you might not be you might be bullish the next week as new data comes in. So there's going to be a short-term bias, even a medium-term bias, and especially a long-term bias as well. The long-term bias for Bitcoin will always stand bullish until proven otherwise. And long-term, in terms of this cycle that I expect to pick up heavily back in probably, I'm guessing, Q4 and on. I still expect this summer to be fairly corrective and consolidating without major breakouts. There won't be a breakout above 72K. I'm very confident with that. So let's take a look at Bitcoin. By the way, for those that don't know me, my name is Philakone, and I've been in the crypto space now for about 9 years. It's a very long time. I've seen two major bull markets, two major bear markets as well. And with every single market, I earn myself new experience and new skills that adds to my arsenal of weapons that I can deploy in the next market that I trade. And in this case, it's going to be the third bull market. So let's take a look at everything going on. And I'm going to explain to you guys from the perspective of exactly how we have recovered slightly thus far. Okay, so before originally, my theory was simple. There was a range that was holding for roughly 120 days now. So this range here held for about 120 days. We broke below it. So we got bull trapped. Anything below that ended up getting bull trapped. So there are two significant price points that held. Okay, so the first one here is going to be the chandelier exit indicator. That is very significant because this measures the volatility, and it had a volatile bullish trend since the beginning of October when the spot ETF by BlackRock was appealed, and the SEC gave suggestions to get it approved. So since then, we've actually held above the 4-day chandelier exit indicator, which is a major support. So it actually broke down for a while, and I thought that it was going to smash. And there was a lot of doubt in the market at that time. But then on the weekly, if you take a look at it, going to the weekly chart, we see that not only does the weekly chart hold from October and on when the SEC made suggestions to get it appealed, but the weekly chandelier exit ended up holding all the way till or since the beginning of January of 2023, which is near when Bitcoin found a bottom. So we broke the 4-day first of all around the 57K range, and then we ended up falling to the weekly chandelier support, and that acted as a very strong type of support. Now, I gotta warn you guys that in other markets before, prior to these ones, that there have been major periods where we are going to trend above and below the chandelier exit indicator on the weekly. You can see that there are periods here in 2016, which is the equivalent year of 2020, 2024. We ended up trending red there and we broke the weekly. Here as well, a major drop that turned red and we broke the weekly. So, and here's another one over here. This is actually in 2017 as well, where we do slightly break it and then it resumes. So that's one bull market that I just proved to you where there has been oscillation up and down. Whereas in the previous bull markets, they were a little bit different. In 2020, there was also a significant period where we were below the red on the weekly. But eventually, it just ends up continuing green for the entire bull market rally, and then it turns red once. So what we have seen is this, okay? Every single time there's a bull market, for example, here in 2013, after the bear market ends, okay? So the bear market is this period right here. After the bear market ends, there's a period of green, but it always turns red at least once. This is irrefutable facts. I'm showing you the evidence here. This is the bear market. The bull market begins or a bottom is found, but there's a period where they're red. I just showed you it right here. Okay. For example, in 2018, after the bear market ends again, there's a period of major red, and then we turn green. We don't always stay green. We end up turning red a few times, actually once over here for a major period. This period was long. It was 180 days about, which was 6 months. So it would be very naive to actually believe that we're going to trend green the entire time and everything is going to just rally and stay above the weekly. You got to be prepared for a possible scenario. It doesn't always have to repeat the same thing, but from my perspective, it makes more sense to see a deeper correction before we end up rallying further. As much as I want Bitcoin to go to the moon and never stop and have a parabolic run and a parabolic rally, the markets just don't work like that. When the market runs for too long, there is going to be a period of rest and consolidation. And I've stated many cases before where Bitcoin, this particular wave right here, that I've showed you that this is probably a 1, a 2, this is probably a 3 that was truncated. The fifth subwave in the 3 was lower than the third subwave. And there's probably going to be a 4 somewhere. Like, are we really that naive to believe that this is the 4 and that's a 5? I mean, just think about this for a moment. For anybody that is familiar with Elliott Wave, if you really believe that the 4 is done already, then that means that the 5 is gonna, like, if you think about it from the perspective of proportionality, it's probably gonna end somewhere here, right? That this is a very proportional wave. You're not gonna get like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then like a gigantic 5 like that. It doesn't happen. It just doesn't. Like, or even an elongated one like that. It's going to be fairly proportional. If this were the case, the 5 would actually end even before 2025. I just don't think that's going to be possible. I think that the 4 is going to get dragged on. The 4 is going to get quite dragged on to even October, and then the 5 will begin, and then the 5 will last somewhere into the next year. That looks a little bit more proportional to me. But the last thing I would like is to be right, because if I'm wrong, then the whole market's going to rally. My portfolio is going to gain some monstrous numbers. Everybody's going to be successful when it comes to growing their portfolio. Markets will be better for trading as well. I'd be very happy to see other people succeed and do hyper well and successfully. But unfortunately, I got to keep to my bias that I believe this is still just a relief rally that's occurring, and eventually there will be further drops to the downside. I did mention in my last video that it's definitely possible for these relief rallies to occur. But you also have to think about it from that perspective that I argued, where is it really likely that a 4 is in and we're going to go to the moon now? Probably not. And another argument that we can make is that, well, this could be a channel going to the downside, and it actually acts as a bullish flag. So if you see this as a bullish flag, well, next target somewhere up there. And then if you think about the next one, well, he can head down there again, right? And then it can even keep going maybe just a little bit. So this pattern looks like it's in for now. That is a very powerful pattern. I think it's probably the main pattern now if we had to identify something sloped for trend lines. So that's how I'm seeing it for now. We have had a substantial drop. A drop in the market of 25%, but we ended up rallying about 19%. So if you think about, like, we have to remember that you can't drop more than 100%. And when it recovers to the upside for a relief rally, it's easier to recover the percentages because of the way it works, right? So you guys understand that, right? It dropped 26%, but it rallied 19%. But 19 of 26 is obviously more than 50%, right, in terms of percentages. But the Fibonacci retracement is actually only a little bit over 50% right now. So we're not quite at the golden ratio yet. I think that we're probably going to pop up somewhere to probably around here. This seems like the most logical target. Sometime, July, August, late July, August, probably going to get to about $68,000. And if we don't smash to the upside there, which I don't think we will, probably going to hit up there somewhere. We're probably going to see another drop to the downside somewhere. Maybe this is not even a pattern that's respectful right now, or respectable rather. Maybe it could be a lot worse than that. Maybe I'm not really drawing it properly. Maybe it's not even something we should consider. Okay, but for now it's conforming from the perspective of patterns. So yeah, even though I'm bearish still, and I believe that we're gonna see further downsides, I'm still very open-minded about the idea that there could be a possibility of a break to the upside. But the likelihood of that happening, probably not as high as you would believe. But if it does happen, okay? If it does happen, and I wish I will be wrong. If I'm wrong and we end up just smashing to the upside, that's going to be the best news ever. In fact, I would just love to be wrong because everyone's going to be happy. But I'm more realistic than optimistic. So for now, this is how I see the market. Probably going to get to 68K. That's the first resistance. Maybe even 72 again. If it gets there, wonderful. So my job as an analyst on YouTube as well, when I make these videos, is just to share my opinion with you and to react to the data that comes in. What I don't recommend is for you to always try to take my technical analysis as the holy grail of something that you're going to follow, and I'm like the guy who's you got to follow. Please make sure to always educate yourself and be well-rounded, and ensure that you're watching analysis from a lot of other people, and especially trying to conduct your own as well, because the ultimate opinion you should listen to is the one that you formulate. Take the opinion of 10 other people and then formulate one for yourself, and that's the one that you should listen to, because it's your money at the end of the day. It's your capital, your decision, your risk. Everything that you do, your success or your failure, it's going to come down to the decisions that you make, not because of some random guy on YouTube. So it's really important to educate yourself. So next week I'm heading to Canada to visit my friends and also my family as well. And because of that, guys, I have a huge sale going on right now. With my 9 years of experience, I have great content out there that's gonna take you to the next level when it comes to your crypto and your trading career. So I have a lot of courses out, and you guys might have seen it before, and really cool indicators as well. So normally it's quite pricey because my content is valuable and it's worth it. But I have an 80% sale off right now, from $14.50 to $300. There's so many people out there that lose everything because they just choose not to invest into any type of learning. They think that investing in things like courses from people who are respectable and also have good reputations in crypto, it's not worth it, right? They think it's a waste of money. But then when they lose everything, the number one thing that they say is, I wish I studied your content before I lost everything. And that's why I have this here. You're gonna get 4 things for this 80% sale off for $300. You're gonna get access to my full day trading course. It's called the Emergency Bull Market Survival Guide. It's 10 hours of pure day trading and teaching you on a very beginner to advanced level. So it's great for people that don't know anything, and it's even better for people that are looking for intermediate to advanced content. Not only that, you're going to get my 2024 Investor's Guide to Crypto for long term to see how I manage my portfolio, and also my picks as well. You're also going to get access to my lifetime Discord group. It's got a major resource of education and content in there, from live trades to lesson videos, and it's got a great community with like-minded people as well. And also, you're going to get access to my advanced range and volatility scanner. I'm the first person in crypto, actually, I might be the very first person that's ever thought of something like this and actually made it. This is the advanced range and volatility scanner. What it does is 2 things. 1, it gives you a gauge of the market, and 2, it hunts for volatile coins so you never miss a volatile coin to trade again. So imagine if a coin's starting to spike. How are you going to notice it? Right? Are you going to be looking at TradingView or every single chart? No, that's not going to happen. So what this does is it highlights green if it meets a certain volatility criteria. So 5% in 2 hours, 10% in 4 hours, 15% in 24 hours, or 20% in 2 days. Okay, so if it meets any of these criterias, it's going to highlight green, pop up, let you know you should go to that coin to trade it right now. So for example, you take a look at this and you see Wild right here on the bottom right. Wild has been moving significantly. And when coins like that start to pop up, you got to go to the chart, so you can start trading it right away, or you see what's going on at least. So if you go to wild, you're going to see that it's gone parabolic, and that's a coin that should be on your radar. So this helps you tremendously find trades. That's the first thing I designed it for. The second thing that I designed it for is a gauge of the market. So just kind of look at it and see what colors do you see more of, green or red. You see way more green, right? So because you see more green, the market is trending to the upside. The market is more bullish than it is bearish. Not only that, the numbers are getting kind of big, but they're not a lot big enough to meet the volatility criteria. So if it's green like this, but there's not a lot highlighted green, it means that some of the market is moving very well, but not all. In a bull market, when the market is moving like crazy, like parabolically, and every coin's going, most of this chart will be highlighted green, and it's gonna be like going to the park and or going to the theme park and being able to ride anything you want anytime. It's like taking a kid to a candy store. You're gonna be able to pick any coin that you want and basically trade it because it's gonna tell you which ones are very volatile. So you actually get access to this as well in that deal of mine. It cost me so much time and money to make that indicator. So you get those four things: two courses, lifetime access to my Discord group, and also the advanced range and volatility scanner of mine. And take a look at the link below. All the information's there. Send crypto to me and then DM me after, or pay by card and DM me after as well, and I'll make sure you're taken care of. So just to conclude this video, yes, Bitcoin has absolutely broken to the upside right now, but in my opinion, it has only broken for now. Okay, until we break this pattern up here, I have to maintain my bias of how there's still a major possibility for even a possible lower low. Okay, because I believe that the time frame for federal elections, for quantitative easing, for rate cuts, it's more so geared for later into the year. And also, I believe that the correction after hitting the 72K, the correction's just not quite over yet, and it requires a longer time frame. So there's many reasons that I believe a correction is still possible. But also remember that just because I believe that, it does not change the fact that I would love to be wrong. And if we break to the upside and we start rallying to the moon, and the bull market truly begins in price discovery and all coin seasons begin as well, I would be ecstatic to see everybody doing well. So thank you very much for joining me. It's Monday night, and I thought I'd put out a video just to be consistent and let you guys know that I think that the bull market will come out later this year, and there's still a possibility of seeing something lower. So make sure you're always staying in touch with me. I'm going to try to provide you with the best technical analysis that I can. So my name is Philakone. Thank you for joining me. If you like my content, all you got to do is just hit the like button and subscribe to me if you haven't already. So have yourselves a great night, and thank you very much for your time. Bye now.